So we're in the beginning of 2025, so I figured let me show you my DarwineX return for the year of 2024. So this is my underlying account, Daniel PR7 live account. So this is the actual account that I trade. So this is the actual return that I've returned. So that's 4.1%. Drawdown since inception is minus 4.73%. So let's have a look at the month by month. So January, February, March, I was in a losing streak, and then in April I came in green. Then May, which was actually a break even, but it's represented with the minus 0.1 because of obviously fees when you sell, the spread, etc., etc. Then June as well was a losing. So if you look at it from the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the first 6 months of 2024, I was in a massive loss. I had basically 1, 2, 3, 4 months in the red, 1 month in the green, and 1 break even. Then July came in hot with a green month, 5.14%. August minus 3.62. And then September's when I had a really good month, 6.87. October 1.23. November I took no trades. And then December I only took 1 trade. So what's important to note here is this is a swing trading account, which I'll show you. So I didn't take many trades and I didn't risk a lot. So I only risked 1% per trade. And if you compare that to like someone who maybe day trades, maybe they would be risking 1% or 2%, but they would probably take like 100 or 200 trades in a year. Whereas I only took about 20 something. So going into 2025, I will be risking a little bit more because I have proven to myself that I can, at the end of the year, I can end up green. So 4.1%, not an amazing return, but what's important is that I'm in the green. A lot of people at the end of the year would end up in the red. They could have 20% months, but then maybe another month they lost 60%. So these are good returns. Another important factor so that you know and understand, I only finished my system fully in July. So January, February, March, April, May, and a bit of June, I was trading, but I was trading and developing. So I didn't have my full system. And then when I did have it in July, that's when it started to look good. And that's also when my Darwin got created. And also when I actually was able to get 2 allocations during this last period, September to December, which I'll show you now. But let's just look at some more statistics, assets and time frames. You see, I only took 22 trades and I actually only won 31% of them. So my win rate was 31%, which was actually really bad. I usually expect it to be about a 50%. But because I didn't have my full system in play and I was still getting used to trading this way, I can say that that's probably why I had a lower win rate, but we'll see as we progress. But I did make some tweaks, so my win rate did get better towards the end anyways. Average duration, 1 day, 17 hours. So again, swing trading style, average winning trade 68 pips, average losing minus 28 pips, trade frequency, so it's like 0.08 per day. So not a lot of trades, different assets. Let's have a look at my actual account. So this is my actual Darwin, and you can see that my Darwin is actually created in September, and it's just a bit higher than my actual return. So it's 4.61% versus mine, which was 4.1, but it has created a bigger drawdown. So my other drawdown was like 4% something, but this one has made it a bit higher. So far, to me, it actually looks like the risk engine doesn't exactly favor me at the moment, but I need to give it more trades for it to understand, because the risk engine obviously needs a lot of data, and if I've only traded 22 times, it's not going to give it enough data to be able to give a very fair reflection of my strategy. Whereas, someone who day trades, they might have given this algorithm already like 500 trades or something, so it'll be able to give a more fair reflection, because remember, with data, the more data you have, the better. So we'll see how this turns out. And the return to risk is 0.34, so that's not good. So we need to improve that moving forward. And you can see that currently I'm 2,941st in Darwin IA Silver. It is January, beginning of January. I haven't taken any trades, so that's also why it's such a low thing. And you can see that I have an allocation currently of 30,000 euros, which was in December. Actually quite interesting because I got this allocation when I was in a losing month, which is quite interesting, but it's because of my 5-month return and the drawdown that gave me a good enough rating that I could actually get this allocation. So it's quite interesting how even if you have a losing month, you can actually still get an allocation, which is quite cool. So let's look at my data, right? So as we said, January, February, March, losing, April, win, May, break even, June, loss, July, 9.66. So it increased my risk nicely here, but it also increased my drawdown for August. September was really nice as well, 10.48. October's negative on my Darwin, minus 0.7. But if you remember before, let me just go back. So in my actual one, I actually made profit on October. My October's 1.23%. So this is actually what happened, but the Darwin has gone and said that I have lost. So it's a little bit strange how the Darwin works in that way. And I did my research a little bit, and it's based on a whole bunch of factors. It could be the time in which the trades are taken, the way the risk is done. I don't quite fully 100% grasp it, but obviously the way in which the risk engine does things, sometimes it's not going to be in your favor and sometimes it is. In December, I basically took a minus 1% loss. So I guess in this way it favored me because it actually reduced my loss. So instead of taking 1%, it actually was only 0.57. So my total return was 4.61 for the Darwin. My worst day was minus 2.74%. My worst week, minus 6.51. Now remember, this could be unrealized. So I could have been in some positions and they would be losing. Doesn't necessarily mean I closed, and I actually could have ended up winning them. Worst week, minus 6.5. Worst month, minus 7.51%. Let's see, assets and time frames. 22 trades, 31%. Yeah, same stuff that we looked at before. And then it just says the days that I ended up green. So quite interesting. Monday and Friday, I did quite well, but because I'm a swing trader, I hold trades. So it's very hard for me to use this data to be able to make a decision, because obviously it just means that I was winning or up, which I could have been up, but it might not have closed. So it would have been unrealized. So I could be up on the Friday, and the Monday, and then maybe on the Tuesday, the position went down. So it's not it's with day trading where you're in and out on the same day. So then maybe you can say, okay, maybe based on this data, if you've got enough of data, because 22 trades isn't enough data to be able to make decisions, then maybe you'd say, okay, I wouldn't trade on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But in my case, obviously, because I hold trades over a few days, I can't really use that. So that's that on this area. And then now let's go into the Darwin, so I can show you the Darwin allocations and what's happened. So Darwin Silver, let's go into past editions. So remember I said that I only started getting allocations my Darwin was only created in September. So that means that I was only able to qualify for Darwin IA allocations in September. So let's go into September. So I'm going to show you each month what my rating was and where I came. So my Darwin index is called DIQ. So let's see where I ended up in September. So you can see in September, I got a 60,000 euro allocation, and I was actually ranked 78th out of 7,626 people. It was actually really good. So that month I made a 10.48% return. 5-month return was 2.94, and my max drawdown was -8. So I was ranked in the top 5%. So I got a little badge, rating higher than 95%. And I was in the top 100, among the top 100 Darwins by return, rating higher than 98.98%. So I'm here, I'm this one, that dot. So everyone here, I did better than them in ratings for September. So I got a 60,000 euro allocation, which I was given to trade until the end of the year. But unfortunately, as you saw in my returns based on my Darwin, I didn't actually make a positive return. So I actually didn't make any profit or performance fee from this amount. So I lost it, obviously, because after 3 months you lose it, but I didn't make any money from it actually. So that was a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, and we just have to move forward. Let's go into October. So in October, we do the same thing. Let's see. Obviously, as I told you, I didn't do too great during that time. So yeah, so rating 70.8. So I missed the allocation. Return was minus 0.7. But remember, I told you in October, I actually made a positive return, but the Darwin didn't give me a positive return. So that was really frustrating as well, because technically I should have made a profit on my allocation with the 60,000, but because of this Darwin minus 0.7, it messed things up. But it is what it is. So rating gap to guaranteed allocation was 4.20. So I was here. So I was ranked 1561. So from being 78 to 1561. So how the tables have turned. And then let's go into November. But November I didn't take any trades, if you remember. But let's see where I ranked just by not taking any trades. So by not taking any trades, I still ranked quite decently, 1445, rating 72. So my rating's gone up, 80.53% of participants. So I'm still higher than them, even though I didn't take a trade. So that's quite interesting how sometimes what you did in the past can actually help you get a better rating. So that's quite cool, which just shows that sometimes, you know, for me, it was better for me to not trade. Some people were probably trading. They got less of a rating than I did by not trading. So that's quite interesting. And then let's look at the final month. So December, which was a really interesting one. I was actually quite surprised by this one because, as I said, I actually lost. I actually took a loss. Minus 0.57 on the Darwin, but it was actually minus 1 on my actual account. But it's because of this return 5 months, 13.06%, and the max drawdown being that pushed me up. So I was ranked 835 over 7812. So I got a 30,000 euro allocation. So that's quite cool. Rating higher than 89.31 participants. So I was higher than all of these people. So that's cool. And now I'm top 15%, rating higher than 85% of Darwin's. So that means that currently now I have my 30,000 euro allocation for January, February, March. So if I make a positive return with my Darwin, then I will get some sort of a performance fee. But I didn't make any performance fee. I can show you performance fees. See, I didn't make anything during that time. So this is the current one. So this is where you can see what your P&L is. And the quarter ends on the 2nd of April. That's my DarwineX track record for the year. What I'm really proud about is that I was able to create a verified track record for 1 year. Yes, the return is low comparing to the S&P 500 or other things like that. But what's important is that I came in the green this year. Some people, they lose in the whole year. So I came in the green. So I can't look at it in a negative tone. I need to look at it as, okay, we've made progress. We're not where we want to be, but we followed our rules, we tweaked things, and we moved forward. So that's all that's important. And I look forward to seeing what 2025 has to offer. So can't wait to show it to you guys. And yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.